نفضي نمضاتي خنفضان مفيوت مشيدي نمبب نمبث واب ونوتي ونوت أمين. We are continuing the letter O, short O, and the word we're going to be looking into is U1T and all the other derivatives of this word. And U1T is the verb to have, for I have. U1T, I have. And when you look at this table, you're familiar with this kind of table because I have a lot of things written this way. So for first person, which is the one who is speaking, U1T, I have, or plural, U1tan, we have. And here the second person, we are talking to someone, U1tak. When I speak, this means you have for a singular masculine, a boy or a man. U1te, when it is a lady or a girl. And U1teteen, you have. It looks complicated, but it's not. Is U1teteen. Here the third person, he has, she has, and they have. U1taf, he has. U1tas, she has. U1tu, they have. The plural always looks a little bit harder, but we can look at it again. We have U1tan, you have, for plural is U1teteen, and they have U1tu. So here we have some examples of the use of these things. For example, if I want to say, I have a friend, and this is a masculine of friend, so we say U1T and U-Shfir. U1T and U-Shfir. I have a friend. If it is a friend that is a girl or a lady, then I say U1T and U-Shfiri. U1T and U-Shfiri. So the masculine is Shfir, and the feminine is Shfiri. Here he has, and have the example here is Psalmos, which means psalm. U1taf and U-Psalmos. U1taf, U-Psalmos. This is in 1 Corinthians. He said if someone has a psalm, he should do this and this. So U1taf and U-Psalmos. Let me one more time, all three of them. I have a friend, and this means a boy or a man. Then we say U1T and U-Shfir. If it is a girl or a lady, so it is U1T and U-Shfiri. U1T and U-Shfiri. And then the verse from 1 Corinthians, U1taf and U-Psalmos. Here, this example, U1tas, means she has. And this is also from 1 Corinthians chapter 7. St. Paul is talking about the husbands and wives and so on. And here he says, U1tas in Uhai and Athnati, if some lady has an unbelieving husband. So here it says she has an unbelieving husband. U1tas in Uhai and Athnati. We know Nahti means to believe. It's a noun and a verb at the same time. And Athnati, not believing, which is the unbelieving. And you still, I hope you still remember this word, Hai, which means husband. So we review back some of the conversational things that we said before. And if a wife wants to call her husband, she would say, Hi, my beloved husband, which is Nofri, Pa, Hai, Emerit. Nofri, Pa, Hai, Emerit. Or you can say it a mixed Coptic English, you can say Hai, Pa, Hai, Emerit. But it's Nofri, Pa, Hai, Emerit. He would answer saying, Nofri, Ta Ishimi Emerit. This will remind you again what wife means, and Ishimi means a wife or a woman. So Nofri, Ta Ishimi Emerit. Hi, my beloved wife. Here another also little conversational statement that we took before. When you say Amu Hemsi Imnai Bahai Emadit. Again, Amu, which means come, Hemsi, sit down, Imnai, here, Bahai Emadit, my beloved husband. Come sit down here, my beloved husband. We say it again, Amu Hemsi Imnai Bahai Emadit. Maybe the husband did something wrong or something good, depends. So this would be appropriate. Then Amu Hemsi Imnai Bahai Emadit. He can tell his wife then Ami, means come for the feminine, Ami Hemsi Imnai Ta Ishimi Emadit. Come sit down here, my beloved wife. Ami Hemsi Imnai Ta Ishimi Emadit. Here is one of the plural things, which means you for the plural. You for the plural is uon tetin. And this is when in Matthew 17, when Christ was telling them, if you have faith, such faith, and you can do this or that. So in Coptic it's eshop, means if. Eshop uon tetin nahti. Eshop uon tetin nahti. Eshop uon tetin nahti, if you have faith. Here in Matthew 15:34, where Christ was talking to the multitude, and then he fed the multitude, he was asking his disciples, how many loaves of bread do you have? In Coptic, it is uon tetin, means you have. Uir here means how many. So you have how many oik, which is bread or loaves of bread. How many loaves of bread you have, or how much bread do you have? Uon tetin, uir, and oik. Uon tetin, uir, and oik. And the answer is etu in oik, etu in oik. Name teft esnav. Etu in oik means 5. Etu means 5. Oik, bread, so 5 loaves. Name teft esnav. Teft means fish, and snav means 2. But here you notice something, that the number was before the word etu in oik. Etu in oik. But here the number was after the noun itself. It became teft esnav. And the reason for this is that esnav is different from all the other numbers. With esnav, you always put it after the thing that you are counting. With all the other numbers, you mention the number first. So etu in oik means 5 loaves of bread. Nem teft esnav. You cannot say nem esnav in teft. It doesn't, grammatically, it's not correct. So etu in oik, 5 loaves of bread. Nem teft esnav. Esnav has to follow the noun, not the other way around. So 5 loaves and 2 fish. Matthew 14. Here, in a way, as if we are telling Christ, they have 2 fish. We will say uon 2, they have uon 2, and teft esnav, they have 2 fish. Here uon 2 and etu in oik, they have 5 loaves of bread. As you can notice here, when we said they have 2 fish, we put the 2 after the teft. So uon 2 and teft esnav. But with the bread, because it is 5 here, so it is uon 2 and etu in oik. It is before that. They have 5 loaves of bread. We will take a little break and we'll be back in a second. Nofli, again, Amadati, we're back, and we were discussing the number, and number esnav, as we said, is different from all the other numbers in that it comes after the noun that it describes the number of. So here we said uon 2 and teft esnav, they have 2 fish, but with the oik, because it is 5, it is uon 2 and etu in oik. Uon 2 and etu in oik. Here I just have this slide to show it's even if it's the same noun but different numbers. It also here when we say I have, O1T means I have. O1T in Gom Isnaf means I have 2 books. But I'm not going to say O1T and Isnaf in Gom. No, O1T in Gom Isnaf. Isnaf follows this number follows the noun that it is describing how many items of that number. But if I have 3 books or 5 books or 10 books, it is O1T and Shamt in Gom. You put the number first. O1T and Shamt in Gom. I have 3 books. O1T and Etu in Gom. If I have 10, I'm going to say O1T and Meat in Gom. So the only one that is the other way around is the Isnav, that it always comes after the noun that it's describing the number of. Here we have some examples of the Isnav also, like when I say I have 2 eyes, O1T and Val Isnav. See, Isnav followed the name here. So O1T and Val Isnav means I have 2 eyes. O1Tak, I'm talking to someone, I'm telling him you have 2 ears. O1Tak and Mashk Isnav. Also Isnav follows the Mashk. So one more time, these 2 here. I have 2 eyes would be O1T and Val Isnav. Here you have 2 ears, O1Tak and Mashk Isnav. How about if it was a lady that you're talking to, and instead of O1Tak, it's going to be O1Te. So if you're talking to a girl or lady, you will tell her O1Te and Mashk Isnav. You have 2 ears. Here the O12, I have an example for this O12, which means they have, O12. And this is from Luke 9:58, when Christ said that the foxes have holes or have dens. So it's Nevashur. Vashur means foxes. Vashur, O12, Vib. Vib means dens or holes. Here we are going to look at the negative of I have, which is I do not have. Instead of O1T, instead of O1, it is M1. And if you remember, we mentioned this M1 before, which means no. The word no is M1. So M1T, I do not have. But the ending is the same like the O1T. The same ending is in the negative one. So instead of O1T, it is M1T. And instead of O1Tan, it is M1Tan. Instead of O1Tak, it is M1Tak. And so on. When you look at the plural here, you have M1Tan, M1Teten, M12. M1Tan we do not have. You see, you notice that if you start with M1, this means we don't have. M1Tan, we don't have. M1Teten, you do not have. M12, they do not have. So as an example of M1Tan, we do not have. This is from John 19. It says, M1Tan Uro, Evil e Caesar. We have no king but Caesar. M1Tan Uro, we do not have a king except Evil e Caesar. M1Tan Uro, Evil e Caesar. For M1Teten, you do not have, and as you remember, you have is O1Teten. But for M1Teten, you do not have, and this is from John 6, say M1Teten Onch, which means you do not have life. Onch means life. And this concludes this episode, and we'll see you next time. Ugay Namadati.